Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Mexa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup. Almost sunny Southern California here. Yeah. It's, the big rain is broken, and it's a beautiful day here in San Diego. And we have a beautiful show going on here. Bob, Charmel, and Rob from Katmai Lodge, one of the greatest places on earth.
No doubt about that, man. One of the beautiful places to go fishing and spend time. And, yeah, we're having a great time talking about it. We want to talk to you this morning. If you want to join us on Let's Talk Hookup, give us a call at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 is how you reach us on the phones. Or, again, send us a text, man. Send a text. Lots of great texts coming through to that Let's Talk Hookup app, and we're going to be reading those here as the show continues on. Again, make sure you include your contact info, name and phone number, because we're giving away a killer prize at the end of today's show, and that's an overnight trip on any open party boat at a Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Basically how it works is you're going to, again, get that certificate. It's good for any open party overnight trip at a Fisherman's Landing. You pick the boat as long as they got a space. On an open party overnight trip, you're going fishing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, time for the catch report.
You got it, man. And today that catch report, our fishdope.com report, is sponsored by Norrisk Lithium Batteries. They're designed specifically for marine use. Norrisk Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and reliability. The Norrisk Guardian Advanced Battery Management System allows you to monitor the health and the charging status by using an app on your phone. Norrisk also makes a complete line of kayak and electric reel batteries that weigh less than 3 pounds. Make an investment in the best for your boat with Norrisk Lithium. Check NorriskLithium.com or go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine for your Norrisk Lithium batteries. We're going to start off our catch report with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge, is on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Ricky, Pete, Bob, Charmel, Rob. You got a house full there.
Yeah,
sure.
We're having fun, buddy.
Yeah, it's been really fun listening to you. Man, you're right about that Harold Davis guy being a good ambassador for your lodge. It's fun listening to him talk. But, hey, you guys remember that old adage, March roars in like a lion and out like a lamb? Well, I think that applies this weekend. This little cold storm is definitely making it lumpy and bumpy offshore here for a couple days. But it's going to pass, and we're going to get back to fishing. And this past week, we saw a real uptick in some of the things going on offshore. So soon coming. Starting along the coast here, especially up the Long Beach area, this halibut fishing has really been worthy. Now, it's not wide open for sure, but for the guys that put their time in, there's a good spread of fish, and that spread includes some real trophies. There's a number of fish been caught over 30 pounds now. I know of one over 40, but I imagine there'll be some more. But that best zone is from mid-Palos Verdes down to off Huntington Beach, and it's mostly in the deeper water, 60, and realistically mostly 80 to 100 like that, near hard bottom. Yeah, in the areas where you find some bait schools. I mean, that's those halibuts like to hang out. And the best baits have definitely been a live smelt, worthy-sized sardine, or the smaller-sized mackerel, maybe not those 12-inchers, but those 8, 9-inch mackerels. Those big halibut love mackerels. I've caught a lot of big ones on them for sure. And guys, for God's sake, fish with good gear. I mean, I can't believe some of the stories here I've heard the last little bit, but, fish with 25, 30-pound, that part is fine. But check your knots where you're tying that top shot onto your braid if you're fishing that routine. I mean, I cannot believe what I heard the other day about a guy bringing up a really big one, and right in front of him, this top shot knot comes untied.
Oh.
I mean, you can't tell me that knot was tested. You got to do that stuff. But along with the halibut fishing, bass fishing's been good. That water's been hanging around 60 degrees, which is balmy for this time of year, and we're liking it there. And along with that, there's been a mix of sculpin and whitefish, and now sheephead season has reopened. And remember, guys, there's a 2-fish limit on the sheepheads, and they got a 12-inch minimum size. But sheepheads are back in the mix there. And over at Catalina, saw a real uptick this past week. The halibuts have been biting over there really good, mostly backside east, really shallow, and a few sea bass mixed in here and there. But the bigger news has been a couple of really nice hits on some good grade yellows. It's nice to see that stuff starting to bite. Springtime is coming, and it's coming together over there at the island. It's looking good. And offshore, just a quick little tease of the shape of things to come. Sport boats found that first bluefin, caught the first bluefin down there above Colnette. And some other fish have been seen in a couple of different areas, even some splashing around up on 289 here. So we'll save that discussion for later as it gets rolling. But so we're going to have to get through this weather, and then we got the show coming this week, so you guys will have all your new gear, and you get all doped up going on the amazing list of seminars that they've put together, and then time to go fishing after that.
Yeah, and of course, fishdope.com. I know the Fish Dope booth will be there with the BD Outdoor guys at the PCS show. Save $30 on a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HookupNow. Lowercase, no space. HookupNow is your $30 code on your membership to fishdope.com. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, Pete, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the big Chevron station. In fact, one of the listeners came in yesterday and he said, "Yep, never been in, but I wanted to come by and say hi." And yeah, you're right by the big Chevron station.
Yeah, Bolsa Chica and Edinger right there, huh? You've made it famous.
That's right.
Phone number at the store is 714-840-4262. The website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, Mark.
Sounds like a plan. Looking forward to that. You have a great text while we're waiting for Marcos?
I thought so. It says, "Good morning, everybody. My question is for Bob and Charmel. Is all of the fishing from shore, or do we do boat fishing trips as well? Are there float tubes or kayaks? I'm just curious how it all goes together. Sounds amazing." That's from Ralph and Menifee.
Well, most of it depends on what angler is and your capabilities. We recommend you getting out of the boat and just more of a free experience of catching fish. The water that we'll put you in is, ankle to crotch deep. I mean, not deep at all. The current's not very bad. You can fish in the boat if you don't want to get out of the boat. It all depends on you and your guide, what you talk about in the morning or the night before. Either way, you're going to catch fish. Both ways you're going to do it.
Yeah, you'll travel in the boat to the different
absolutely,
spots.
Yes. You'll get in the boat just like Pete said earlier. You'll drive up, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if that, sometimes, and you'll find a cove or a sandbar, and you'll be the only one on the sandbar, and you'll pull off and you get out of the boat and you stay there as long as you want. If the fish aren't biting right then, you just head up river a little bit and go find another spot, but you will be in and out of the boat.
Most of the big king fishing is done from the boat.
The big king fishing, because the kings are in the middle of the river, so you kind of want to be offshore just a little bit. And when I say offshore, it's not like you're the ocean offshore. It's you're 25 yards
from the shore of the
maybe even 10 yards from the offshore. And you'll sit there and you'll cast your whatever your streamer do. If you want to troll with some plugs, some people don't like to plug fish or have the guide drive the boat while they're catching the kings, and they want to catch it by themselves. So we'll get out of the boat. They'll put you on a point, and you'll cast your streamer out there into the deeper water. They'll put you on one of those points, and you'll catch the king just all by yourself. So it's kind of what you want to do.
Sure.
And based on, like you said, your skill set, you're good, and you're one-on-one with your guide. I mean, they're gonna. That's the thing too, is like they're going to assess and realize exactly what you need probably before you realize it, and they'll just make that gentle suggestion. Hey, let's try this, and you have no idea that they're coaching you based on a lifetime of experience.
They're going to see how you got into the boat. If do you just jump in the boat or did you crawl into the boat?
Rob, you like fishing for those kings?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
they pull hard.
Yeah, they do.
And it's a different type of fishing.
Yeah,
you know,
totally different.
Back trolling.
Yeah.
Do a lot of back trolling.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And then those guides are good.
Oh, yeah.
They've done it so much.
Yeah, they know exactly where to go, for sure.
The thing that I dug almost more than anything was that I loved it when we went up to the north and fished in the braids. I think the thing that I liked almost as much as the fishing experience was the drive up there and navigating water that you wouldn't ever think a boat could go through. Like I'm telling you, the first time you're driving a boat through water that's 8 inches deep is just like, are we going the right way? Like, did we make a wrong turn? And then, boop, just like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, those jet propulsion outboards, like, they just go in areas that it just doesn't, it's not fathomable that you could be crossing the river. And it's no big deal. It's what they're made for.
Yeah, they get in some pretty shallow water and get through it, no problem. You'll actually feel the air as the water's getting shallow as the boat's going upriver. It kind of lifts the boat up because of the compression. It's not pushing the water down. It's kind of like the water's stuck between the boat and the gravel that you're going over, and it'll literally lift the boat up. It's like you're in a little elevator ride because you can feel it. Then you know you're getting into some shallow water.
Yeah.
You better start looking for blue water, in front of you.
Yeah, and you're all Yamaha powered.
All Yamahas.
Yeah. The big the jets are 150 Yamahas with a jet.
Yeah, and then we have 90s and we have 50 tiller boats, which is really becoming popular because everybody wants to be in the big silver boats. We call them the silver boats, which are basically the 150s. And we fish 3 in a boat with those if your group is that. So it doesn't matter whether if you're a group of 2. Then you're going to go out with just 2 people. If you're a group of just 1, a single, we'll take you out with a single. Or if you have 3, but we'll never put more than 3 people in the boat, because if you brought 4 people in a group, then we'll just put 2 boats. You'll go out 2 boats together. But the little boats, we call them the greenies, and they're little tiller 50s with jets on them, and they'll get into areas you can't get into with the big boats. So it's kind of like you'll see a big boat going up and go, wow, I want to be on that thing, and they go, well, not really. It's the best boat for what we're fishing today.
Get into something real tight.
We want to get into some tight areas, some tight waters where the sloughs are, where you do. And I know your favorite with it. It's called mouse fishing.
Mousing. Yes.
That's one of my favorite things to do is to cast this little mouse on a fly rod, hit the bank, and then pop it off into the water, and then just twitch your rod, and it kind of looks like the mouse is swimming across the river, and the trout just explode over it.
Yeah, it literally explode over it. Yeah, and you skitter. It's like surface iron fishing on steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The closest thing I've ever seen to that, first time I ever experienced was when I was down at Lake Picachos last week with Corey Sandin. He was really into the frog fishing.
Okay.
And you throw the frog right into like the heaviest timber you can imagine, and then you kind of dangle it in these holes, and they come up and explode on it. It's kind of like that if you're a freshwater guy.
Cool.
But better.
And then you just hope that you can get the fish back through. You fish crazy heavy tackle, right? Super heavy spectrum, super heavy hooks, and then you just fire it into this gnarled mess.
Right.
And then once the bite happens, well, then you deal with it.
Yeah, then what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Worry about that part later.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Rick, phones are packed. They want to talk to these guys, so let's jump into it.
We've got a lot of very patient callers standing by, like John from Huntington Beach. John, good morning. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show. And I've got a couple questions. How far up river, how far from the ocean is the lodge up the river?
13 miles. So it takes, if you wanted to drive down to the we call it the tidal influence, where the fresh water meets the salt water, and you get that brackish water as soon as it comes into the river system. We're about 13 miles, which is about a 45-minute to 60-minute boat ride if you want to go all the way down there. So a lot of times what we'll do for the fresh kings and all that, the guides will look at it and look for high tide, because that's when the tides come in and the water raises up in the bay, and you'll get the big push of fresh salmon coming up in there, and you'll catch catch up with them, and they'll come in the water, and you'll get that bite, and then they start heading upstream. So as soon as the bite slows down, then your guide will just say, okay, let's go, and you'll basically pass the herd as it's going up river, and you'll go maybe about 20 minutes upriver, stop there, and then here comes that herd, comes by you again, and then you'll do it again. You just another 20 minutes upriver, stop, and here that same pack of fish as it's going up, we call them pods, comes swimming by again, because they're just on their way up, and it's 90 miles of river before the lake. So
wow.
It's the river system's long. It's a lot of fishing, potential fishing for you.
All right, very good. Well, hey, let's continue our catch report.
You got it. We got Marcos from C4 Sport Fishing standing by this morning. Good morning, Marcos.
Good morning, guys. How's everyone?
We're doing great, man. Anxious to hear what's going on. We had a nice little week of weather and new month happening, some new fish becoming available. What's going on at Seaforth?
Well, unfortunately, that streak of nice weather kind of came to an end this morning. It's a little windy out there. Probably the next few days going to be a little tough on the water. But, when we got out during the week here, we had some actually pretty solid fishing there. In Seaforth on Thursday, 11 calico bass, 91 whitefish, so similar to what we've been seeing there. I believe they had 20 sand bass earlier in the week. The Tribute got out on their day and a half last weekend. They left last Friday, came back Sunday morning. They caught a couple yellowtail, 2 yellowtail, 57 rockfish, limits of red, some whitefish, lingcod. Pretty good call net fishing for what you kind of expect at this time of the season. And they did not get out last night, like I said, with that weather coming through this weekend. I think a lot of people are just kind of staying home, staying dry. But we'll be right back to it this coming up week. So check the website, seaforthlanding.com. We've got those half-day trips up there. We'll get out on the water, get some whitefish, some other bottom fish, maybe some bass in the mix there. And just a reminder, in the past, the rockfish season opened in March. It's not till April this year, so don't go out there catching those rockfish quite yet. It's like I said, it's very similar to what we've seen. It's been a little tougher winter weather-wise here. That's really put some brakes on the fishing. But when we're getting out there, it's pretty good fishing. So check the website, seaforthlanding.com, for those half days. So like I said, San Diego has full-day trips scheduled later in the season. They're scheduled through the summer there. So like we talk about every week, make your reservations now. Don't wait till fishing's good, because you're just not going to get the reservations at that point. The Tribute has all their day-and-a-half trips scheduled on the weekends for the next couple months. They will have some weekday trips after that. So lots of options there. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. Come down, visit us in person, say hi, get some stuff in the tackle shop, get your gear tuned up for the upcoming season, and grab some food next door at the new restaurant. They're actually really, really good over there.
So check that out. Yeah, sounds awesome. Like a good place for sure.
Charlie's Landing there. Yeah, it's like, they've got a nice variety of breakfast and then lunch. Unfortunately, being here in the morning, I don't really get to try all of their lunch food, but the little bit I have tried has been great there. So, hey, why not, like I said, grab a breakfast burrito, get your gear tuned up, get out on the half day, and go catch some fish.
Sounds cool, Marcos. Well, a great report as always. Appreciate it very much, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks, Marcos.
Wraps up our catch report.
You got it, man. That's going to finish our catch report, which again is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you can get premier processing experience. Check out the brand new and easier online system to book your processing orders for your long-range trips. Now with the addition of the new team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by their location on Old Town and Taylor Street, or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure to make those reservations today.
Yeah, for sure, because it's going to be a great season this year. Hey, Bart Hall's calling us from the Bart Hall Boat Show. Good morning, Bart.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Bart.
You guys are painting some beautiful word pictures of Katmai today. If you don't want to go there after listening to this show, you must be dead. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a passion for all of us in this room, I can tell you that.
You can tell listening. It sounds great, guys.
Thanks.
Anyway, we opened our boat show yesterday. No fish in here. Well, there's some guys who think there's fish in here, but it's a boat show. It is a really good one. We've had more boats and many more boats than we had last year, and people seem to have a really good time yesterday. So I'm very encouraged. Of course, it's only a 3-day show, and it's today from 10 until 8:30, and tomorrow from 10 until 5. And we'll see. The weather got a little better here. We thought we were expecting heavy rain all day, but it looks like that's kind of moved on, and it's just going to be kind of intermittent and light. And tell you what, this is a really good-looking show. There are lots of boats here. And Sergeant Anglers Marine right there in the front, and just keeps on going all the way down. 3 buildings just full of boats and marine accessories.
Wow. And everything, kind of from Rick with his bass boats all the way to ski boats, deck boats. I know H&H Marine there is there with a lot of pontoon boats, right?
H&H is there with their Regal. That's what they have up here, because there's territorial things, and some of the most beautiful boats I've ever seen in my life. And we have an amazing selection of the Go Fast boats, because the guys who helps me with this, his name's Jim McComb, he used to build to make fast boats go faster. So we have a really, really big selection of high-performance boats and race boats. And some of those things are just astoundingly beautiful. Wow. And so it was just very, yeah. Well, Jenny's in the background. She says, yeah, he just wants your picture taken with some of them. It's really something else.
So tell us about once again, where we go to the Bart Hall Boat Show and the hours, and how do we get there?
Well, it's at the Fairplex in Pomona, and you just take the 10 freeway or the 210 freeway. It'll take you right there. You can come up to 57 from down south, and we're open today at 10 a.m. We're going to close at 8:30. And so far, yesterday, everybody had a really good time. Sold some boats, and it's a beautiful show. Beautiful boats in there. But it's boats. So lots of boats.
That's fantastic. Well, Bart Hall Boat Show going on today and tomorrow at the Fairplex in Pomona. Thanks, Bart. Nice to hear from you. And good luck with the show.
See you, Bart.
Thank you.
Appreciate that very much. Hey, had a fun text come through. It says, good morning, guys. A great show for someone that's really considering doing the trip with my wife and the nature viewing trip that Charmel spoke about earlier. Is there a better time of year to come when the more non-fishing activities are taking part? And what are some of the additional non-fishing activities? That's all from Brian in San Diego.
Well, our best bear viewing, if you're a non-fisherman and you just want to come bears, is July. That is where you're going to get the best bang for your buck. I mean, it's the same cost, but what I'm saying is you come out there, you're going to get the most bear viewing at the park, which is going to be phenomenal. Not only do you'll have the bear viewing there, but you have the bear viewing at the lodge. We basically for the day that you're traveling up and down the river on our eco trip up and down the river, we basically just get in a boat and they pack you a lunch, and you could have an evening lunch out on the river, because don't forget, it doesn't get dark till midnight there. Yeah. So you can leave in the afternoon and have your day on the river and go spend out and have dinner on the river, which is pretty neat. And the guide that will take you out there will pack your dinner and everything, and you'll go out to one of the sandbars and visit there's a few native villages there. There's a bluff that you can walk up. We got the berry picking. You can go berry picking. We also have an archery range there that if you want to shoot some arrows, if you've never archered before, then we can take you up there. There's a lot of other little options you can do.
Abandoned native villages, by the way.
Yeah. We did that. We walked up to one of those native villages. Fascinating.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because it's
and see how they lived back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of
on the river.
Yeah, on the river.
Yeah.
People were born on the river there. So that's kind of neat to see.
Yeah. And the other thing too is if you want to fish and do that, you can do that, because you're basically, when you're on the river, you're seeing all kinds of wildlife.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, like, you could be fishing, your wife could be bear viewing, or otter viewing, or beaver, eagles. And it doesn't have to fish. You can see a lot of stuff just while you're out on the fishing trip too.
Looking for agates seems to be a fun activity for a lot of the
agates.
Really?
Oh, really?
Agates and gold mining. We have the panning in the boats. We got the little green pans, and you can actually, and you actually get flakes.
Do you?
That's so cool.
Little jars you can put them in.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
How fun. So there's other things to do other than fish.
Right. And the wildlife trips run well into the beginning of August as well. July is prime time. It is a little tougher to get in because that's also prime time for fishing.
Right.
So I would say, end of July through the beginning of August is a great time to get in. It's a little easier. It's not as busy. The lodge is more open, and still a beautiful time for bears.
And if you go in that in that August time period, not only can you do a Brooks Falls. Is Brooks Falls still going in August?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can go Brooks Falls, but you can also fly out to the Moraine or the American or one of the famous trout rivers and have a fascinating view of bears up there, as well as see some pretty incredible things in the river too.
Yeah, and let me just say that going to the falls in August, it's instead of seeing 30 bears, you're going to see 15.
Yeah, right.
They're still there.
They're still there. It's just that you're definitely going to. But then you also have more people, so you got to look at it in that aspect. Since it is a national park, it's there's a lot more people there in
July.
In July,
yeah.
So
right.
Depends on how you like. If you like to be around a lot of people, then July you're going to get a lot of people at the park, not at our lodge, but at the park itself.
In August, you're still going to see plenty of bears.
Plenty of bears and not as many people. So the benefit
people.
of that is because they put you on a platform, and if you're going in mid-July when everybody else is there, they're going to rotate you off every 15 minutes because they have hundreds of other people in line. You go in August, it's a little more flexible. Last time we went in August, guests were able to stand up there and there was no limit.
That's cool.
So it's...
Yeah.
And let's be real. You're going to see bears on this trip, no matter what. No matter what you do.
You're going to see a lot more than bears.
If you didn't do a wildlife viewing trip, if you didn't do a fly out, if you didn't do anything, you are going to see amazing wildlife just in your course of your normal fishing day, all day, every day.
Yeah. Hey, Isam from Irvine says, good morning, guys. How should I dress for the months of June to August? How does the fishing at Katmai Lodge extend all the way out to, is it Kamchak Bay?
Kamishak Bay?
Kamishak Bay, yeah.
No, we don't go out to Kamishak, but the way you dress is basically it's like today. It's if we were here in San Diego, it was raining this morning, but then now the sun's popping through.
Layers.
Bring layers.
Yeah, and bring your raincoat.
Bring a raincoat.
Yeah.
So the thing is that you're wearing, you want to wear a good base layer. You want to wear a sweatshirt, some comfortable pants when you're out fishing because you're going to be wearing waders anyways. So you're going to be fully covered, and you're going to absolutely need to bring a rain jacket.
Yeah.
But if it's raining in the morning, it could be sunny an hour later, and then you take off.
Even if you're bear viewing on our river, we're going to put you in a set of waders in case you want to get out and take pictures. Right. You're not sitting there just stuck in the boat. You can get out of the boat in ankle deep water or knee deep water and get to the shore so you can take your pictures and all that. So, and then putting waders on, the wind can be blowing or breezy, cold, but once you put waders on, it's not that bad.
Yeah. No,
not that bad.
Layers of long underwear, both top and bottom.
Heavy socks.
Heavy socks, because the water's cold.
You want your feet to be warm.
Yeah, and just multiple layers that you can bring on and off as the day progresses. Right. There are days where it's 75 degrees and sunny. I mean, I've had weeks up there where the entire week was 75 and beautiful. Sure. Right. But the following week it could rain every day. Exactly. So you just don't know. Right. It's Alaska.
It's probably going to be a little bit of everything on your trip. That's the one thing I've found is like,
and don't predict it.
Yeah. The one thing it will be is probably the opposite of what you're telling everybody it's going to be. Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of everything.
You just book it in your trip and go, and you just have to work with it, whatever Mother Nature throws at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming on your way. I want to remind you this portion of the show is sponsored by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin. They have sea surface temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can now access your charts on your phone or any mobile device. See them this weekend at the PCS show. More information coming your way. Again, such great info from the guys at Terrafin. When we come back, we got more of your phone calls and reading a lot more text. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Get ready for the most exciting sports show of the year, the giant 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing, Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show, March 7th to the 10th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and a free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 7th to Sunday, March 10th. The 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Tackle Boat and Travel Show at the O.C. Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
Hey, we're so lucky here in San Diego. We have fantastic weather and great fishing. We also have 3 great shops to take care of anglers. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by Johnny, is certainly one of the best. We have you covered from bay bass to big tuna. Plus, we have Doug, one of the finest reel repair guys around. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. Jeet and the guys have the best stratum reels, the hottest lures, and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, growing their stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check danalanding.com for more details.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best ever booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular Saltwater Building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Want to take your catch from fresh to superior grade? This is Robbie Gant from AFCO. We developed the tools for the EKGMA process. Circuit Breaker is specially designed to disable the full length of the fish's spinal cord. The memory-resistant wire of AFCO's Circuit Breaker will not bend or kink even after repeated use. Take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Available at a dealer near you or check out AFCO.com.
Like Robbie said, take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Check AFCO.com or your favorite tackle retailer.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen, for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Phone lines are absolutely packed. Tons of great texts coming through. Everybody's excited to talk about Katmai.
Yeah, for sure. Let's jump into it. It's packed.
That sounds good to me. We're this time going to talk to John. He's called us from Huntington Beach this morning. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Looks like we lost John, so we're going to jump in and grab another one. How about we talk to Jim from National City? Good morning, Jim.
Hey, good morning, Charlene, Bob, and Rob, and Pete and Rick. Yeah, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. My question, I'm 76, and I kind of hit Rosie with this last week. I'm not handicapped, but my mobility as far as I can walk, but I'm not like I used to be able to walk, not great distances. But I guess my question is, I'm sure you take care of them up there at your place, the handicap, semi-handicap, and even less than handicap. How are you? I'm sure you're catering to those people, and maybe you'll explain a little bit how you're taking care of them up at your lodge.
Oh, absolutely. We love to have you guys out, and you easily can come out and fish with us. I mean, we are pretty much where the lodge is. It's flat. There's not a whole lot of hills or nothing, and we do walk downstairs to go to the boats. But we have this little road that takes you around the backside, and we have one of those John Deere Gators, if you're familiar with them. It's kind of like a golf course little cart, and you just get suited up in your room, which you can just walk walk up one step to get into it. We put you in one of those rooms, and then what you'll do is you'll just jump on with the guide, and he'll just drive the gator literally onto the dock down below, and you'll get out of the gator and take 3 steps and step right into the boat. And it's really
so you've done it before.
Yeah, we've done it before. We've had people handicapped with wheelchairs. 2 of our rooms have wheelchair access, we call it. We just take this rail out, and then we install this plank. Basically, it's a wooden thing we built, and so the wheelchair can just roll right down and get into. It's in the same level as the main lodge, and then into the kitchen it goes down 1 step, and then you're in the kitchen area. So absolutely, we can take.
And the dining room's all wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, it's all be able to pull in.
You can do it, Jim.
And then once you're on the boat, you don't have to get off.
You don't have to get out.
And if you do, the guides are fully capable of getting you off the boat, but they're going to be very cautious in where they place you.
Right, you'll get on a sandbar and just put you right on a good spot, and that's all you'll fish right there if you want.
Jim, knowing you from all the years and fishing and everything, you would have absolutely no problem. I know exactly what you're trying to say. You're not going to run a marathon tomorrow, but you would have no problem fishing up there. No question about it.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Tom in San Diego says, do you ever fish non-Vonic Lake, and what species are in non-Vonic Lake?
Yeah, the non-Vonic Lake, we normally do that up for a fly out is what we'll do, because it's far up the river, but we'll go ahead and get in the otter and fly up to the non-Vonic, which is basically every fish that is in the non-Vonic went by our lodge, the salmon, that is. And so, because it has to go through by our lodge to go to the non-Vonic. What we'll do is basically when we go up there, you'll be trout fishing. It's a great trout spot.
Yeah.
For smelt and,
And is that the non-Vonic River, too, that you're fishing when you go to non-Vonic?
No. We don't drive up the river. We'll fly it in the otter to there.
But you'll fish in the lake?
We'll fish in the lake. You'll walk down. You actually will pull right up to the non-Vonic River, you want to call it. It goes down there, and you'll walk a trail. There's a trail there that you walk down maybe quarter mile or so, and you'll fish the banks.
Okay.
Or you'll take their boat, because we do have the boat now.
No kidding.
So what we'll do is we'll land there and take the otter. We have 2 basically inflatable boats with engines on them, and we'll inflate the boat, and you'll get in the boat, and you'll fish the upper non-Vonic River and on the lake.
Wow.
How cool is that?
I know one of the coolest things when you're on the Alagnak River, which is the river that goes by the lodge at Katmai Lodge, is to run up into the braids where you find the trout and the grayling and such like that, and the pike maybe that Harold's trying to target, but going all the way up to the top where I believe one side is the non-Vonic and the other side is the Kuklaklik, and that's the headwaters of the Alagnak. And going all the way up there, I'm not sure you've ever been up there, Rick. It's quite a run up there.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to get up there.
If you can kind of talk, it's going to take some fishing time away from you, but if you can talk the guide into going all the way up there, it's fascinating to see these 2 giant rivers that meet and become the Alagnak.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And great trout fishing right there.
Yes.
Great trout fishing.
Yeah, for sure. Really cool stuff. At the adventure up there is just, it's everywhere you look.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to read this text, and I know that we've touched on this before, but I think it's so important for our listeners because it's the biggest hesitation that I know that I had, and it says, "Good morning, Let's Talk Hookup crew. Charmel, Bob, and Rob, great show. This is a bucket list destination for sure. I'm an avid saltwater SoCal conventional gear fisherman, and fly fishing would be a brand new experience for me. Your website discusses the various weights of fly rods and gears to bring. I have 0 fly fishing experience and no fly fishing tackle. Can you talk about what the lodge provides? Do you offer turnkey outfitting for a novice like me? How about do I need to get training before I go up there so I can start off on the right foot? I just don't want a novice like me to struggle when I get up there. I want to be able to enjoy this fishery." That's from Mike in Oceanside.
Well, we offer you, I don't know what exactly fly fishing has a little bit of coordination to it, but it's always fun to learn. And it's one of the best places to learn is our river, is because it's so open. Mm-hmm. There's nothing behind you. And usually what happens is when you're swinging it back and loading the rod and swinging it forward, you don't want any trees around you until you really get to the control of the line. But once you do it and you try it, you don't get frustrated. You put the fly rod down and then gear fish a little, then try it again, and the guides are going to sit there and go over backwards to get you up and running. But definitely, if you want to practice here, there's no reason why you can't go to a school ground or somewhere open and grab yourself a fly rod, borrow one from somebody that has it, and then just go out there, put a little fly at the end of it, and just practice your fly fishing in the local schoolyard.
If you go to Katmai Lodge and you don't want to fly fish, you can not ever want to touch a fly rod and catch a ton of fish
the whole time.
But when you go, you will want to catch a fly rod because it's
a
so
different way
easy.
of fishing, and it is easy. It's easier than you think, and until you try it, you got to try it. And once you get hooked, you might not want to go back.
Oh yeah.
And Mike, I was you. I was you exactly. Avid saltwater fisherman, loved it, knew nothing about fly fishing. You're not making these massive, long, technical casts. The guides are awesome. All of the gear is provided. The instruction is fantastic. Like, you will have no issue with it, I assure you.
The basic cast in fly fishing is a roll cast, and the roll cast is I promise you, is easier than throwing a spinning rod.
No doubt.
It's the easiest that anybody can learn in a matter of minutes, right, Charmel?
Of course.
You've done it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're now an expert, right?
Of course.
Also, too, what makes it easy is you're in an area or you're in a river that's got so many fish that you're going to catch a fish.
That's the best part. Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're
target-rich environment.
Fly fisherman, but those 76,000 are going by today. Even if you're a lousy fly fisherman, you're going to catch a fish.
Yeah.
And then that gets you to be a better fish.
But it does. It gives you lots of opportunities. And if you miss your bite, you're going to get another one.
You go, wow, this is kind of neat. How it works.
When you throw roll casts and you hook one of those sockeye for the first time, and it takes off and empties that reel that you have on your fly rod, it's so exhilarating.
It's so cool.
It's really, really cool. Hey, another great question here from a texter, Carlos from San Fernando Valley, says, how do you break up the day at the lodge start to finish? Sounds like I need to take a trip soon. Yes, you do. So what's a typical day? Give us a scenario of a typical day at Katmai Lodge.
So typical day would be you wake up, obviously get ready, head over to the dining hall for some breakfast around 7. Maybe I think it's 6:37. Typical guests are in there. They'd rather be there earlier and out on the water already, but it's just not even light yet. So have breakfast, and then typically your guide will meet you down at the boat when you want them to, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Get out on the water, and you can stay out as late as 5. Mm-hmm. You do have a shore lunch. You can come back to the lodge if you want, but most people chose not to because it's just a waste of time. And the
or
shore
it's
lunch,
not as. the shore lunch is so cool.
Yeah,
it's
the
special.
shore lunch itself is amazing. It's the freshest. The guides can. You can catch a salmon and they'll fillet it and cook it up for you, and it's the most fresh salmon you'll ever eat. So it's an amazing opportunity to just relax, and you can keep fishing. The guide's cooking up the food, and then you have lunch and get back to fishing.
Yeah.
Come back.
If you want burgers instead of fish one day, you can have burgers, hot dogs, whatever.
Piece of prime rib from
chicken.
last night.
There you go. Yeah.
A soup if you want a bowl of soup.
Yeah.
Soup in a thermos.
Hot coffee.
Yeah. And then you get back at 5, between 5 and 5:30. We like everybody back by 5:30ish, just so we can take a head count, because we have 90 miles of river. You don't want to be stuck for some reason out there. If you did have a boat problem, which we don't have that many, it happened to us, but we want to make sure everybody's back in. Take a hot shower, which is worth the
oh my god, it's the best there is.
A hot shower. Get back to come into the main lodge, and we'll have happy hour there. We'll have hors d'oeuvres for you. You'll have all the pictures for throughout the day of not just you but other clients, and you meet the clients, you talk to the clients, other guests that are at the lodge at the same time you are, and then 7 o'clock's dinner. You go there and they ring the dinner bell, and you go over there, and if you want to stay and have another drink, that's that's okay too. Go at 7:30. You don't have to just jump up at 7 and get over there and have some dinner, and then come back into the lodge. And there's game boards. There's all kinds of little things there. There's open bars right in there. So we have all the beer and wine in there that you want to drink. Take a couple beers with you. Cocktails. Take a couple back to the room with you, and talk with more guests, and then plan the next day.
Yeah.
Majority of our guests are down for the count after dinner.
Long
days.
The best smoked sockeye salmon you'll ever eat. Yeah. Whatever you do there is it's amazing.
Yeah, we have it's kind of the size of 2 sheets of plywood, doors, and it's a big, it's a cold smoker, so actually cool smoke they call it, and basically we have a fire that's down at the bottom of the hill, and it runs through a pipe into the ground and then comes out into the smoker, and usually we have that thing going 24 hours, smoking, so the whole lodge smells like smoked salmon or somebody barbecuing, even throughout the night. So it's pretty neat smell.
Oh yeah,
and it's great fish
for sure. Hey, Dan from Scotts Valley has an interesting question. Says, I'm curious about the seasonal runs up there. Can the guests talk about through the average year and what runs there are, and the weather too at different types of the year?
All right, in summertime is basically when we show up. The kings and the sockeye are the first ones that show up, and you start your season in June. In June, right? Yeah. Right. And trout fishing.
Yes.
So we have the trout. We always have trout there. The trout fishing is there all year round.
Yeah. Which starts mid-June.
Yeah. These are Alaska rainbows that are amazing.
Right. Yeah. June 8th is the trout opener, so that's usually where we target to open the lodge is June 8th. If you want to just come in for trout fishing, that's phenomenal trout fishing there because there's no salmon in the water yet, and they've been sitting under the ice all winter long, so they're hungry.
They're hungry. That's when the mouse fishing's really good, right?
Mouse fishing and basically leeches, the black leeches. They're really black and purple leeches work really well for the trout. Then the kings start coming in right there towards the end of June into July. The sockeye show up. The sockeye usually shows up July 4th weekend.
Yeah,
is pretty much.
So you can almost count on it, right?
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah,
I still don't get it to this day.
They're not there, and then the next day they're there.
They're there. It's like flipping on a switch.
Yeah.
And then once that starts, it runs for about 3 weeks of just a funnel of sockeye coming through with the kings. So you're catching kings and sockeye all day, and then the chums show up. And this year's a pink year, so every odd year, even year, there's the pinks run.
Thousands and thousands
of pinks, mixed in with all the rest of those fish.
Yeah,
that's on top of what's already there.
On top of it, and why they only come on even years, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's only God knows that one. And then after that, the chums and the pinks and the kings. The king season ends July 31st. Fishing game rules. They just don't want you.
You'll still catch them or see them.
You'll still catch them, throughout the day, but you can't keep them. Yeah. You got to let them go because that's a fishing game rule. But they're still in the river that you're going to catch, but you got to let the thing go once you bring it in. And then after that, the silvers show up. Towards the middle of August. So then there's a possibility that we call it the Big Five. You catch everything. Right end of July, early August.
They're all in there.
They're all in there.
All 5 Pacific species.
Correct. Right.
Yeah. And then trout, of course, all the time.
And then trouts. But now the trouts have been eating all the eggs.
Yeah. But silvers are there through August, right?
Through August, all the way into September.
And when do you close?
Usually the second week of September.
Okay.
It starts thinning out, and then the temperature starts getting cold then.
Yeah.
It starts getting pretty brisk in the morning.
Yeah.
So
you guys are
usually
way
by September 15th, we're pretty much closing the doors.
Is there such a thing, and you talked about the weather too, is there such a thing as better weather in some months, or it's pretty much...
It's unpredictable.
It's unpredictable. It's just, it could be beautiful sunny in August, or it could be
what type of fishing you want to do? I always ask them.
It's just about fishing.
What time when you want to catch? Do you want to catch a lot of fish? Do you want to target fish? Do you want, a lot of people come early. One year they'll come early July for the kings and the sockeye, and then the next year they'll come for silvers.
Yeah, for sure. So just target when you want to come,
right? And
time of the year and your schedule, and you're going to catch fish.
Correct.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
Okay,
sign me up. Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including finding out who's going fishing on that open party trip. More Let's Talk Hookup coming Coming your way in the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
The Boat Show is back. The Bart Hall Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona, March 1st to the 3rd. We'll highlight Southern California's premium dealers and most of the greatest boat manufacturers in the country, all in one place. Fishing boats, ski and wake boats, family fun boats, very fast boats, very exotic boats, personal watercraft, and some of the most spectacular one-of-a-kind handmade boats ever seen. If it floats and you can put it in or on your car, then it's probably at the show. Marine accessories, wakeboards, marine clothing, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards. We've got it all, including live music. The Bart Hall Boat Show, March 1st through the 3rd at the Fairplex in Pomona. Noon to 7 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Kids under 15 are free. All of the boat dealers and all of the boat factories you love, all in one place. Don't miss it. It's the Bart Hall Boat Show. For more information, go to hallshows.com. That's hallshows.com.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
This is Captain Art Taylor from Searcher Sport Fishing. Your hook is one of the most important links to catching fish. And at Searcher Sport Fishing, we use and recommend Gamakatsu hooks. The Gamakatsu Nautilus hook is best for tuna. And now with a variety of sizes all the way down to size 4, Gamakatsu hooks are the ones to use. It's important to be prepared with the right tackle when you come aboard Searcher, so that should include Gamakatsu hooks.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Okay, it's time to find out. Charmel's going to do us the honor of flipping the prize coin, seeing who's going on this overnight open party trip. Do it to it, Charmel.
All right, Charmel.
Okay, we have a texter winning today. Congratulations, Dave in San Diego. You are going fishing on an open party overnight trip at a Fisherman's Landing. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dave and Charmel, Bob, and, of course, Rob. Thanks for, man,
Thanks, guys. Thanks
the
for
2
having
hours
us there.
go so fast.
Yep.
And now, Katmai Lodge is super popular, but there is space available. Our trip this year is full, but if you want to go with our group, the Let's Talk Hookup Harold Davis Davis Boats group, you can book next year. It wouldn't be too early to do that, right?
Right, and if you want a discount, come to the PCS show. We'll be there.
Yeah, you guys will be in the booth, right? And you can talk about open dates for this year because it's not too late to get in there, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Trips start in Anchorage. You fly to Anchorage, overnight in Anchorage, and then fly out to the lodge, right?
Correct.
So if you want to do a side trip, like up to Denali, take the Alaska
absolutely.
Railroad, highly recommend that. You can do that.
Alyeska, there's a great a ski resort there where they have the tram running in the summertime, and you go on top of the mountain. It has a restaurant on top. Beautiful view to really see Alaska. You have the glaciers there, the Portage Glacier on your way out there, so you kind of kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can go to Whittier where the cruise ships come in, which is you go through this mile-long tunnel. It's just kind of neat. It's only one direction. You got to wait, and they switch it back and forth to go through a mile-long tunnel.
You wanted to go saltwater fishing? You could drive out to Seward and go halibut fishing.
We went down to Ninilchik and saw the boats like loading onto the big trailers, so they do that crazy beach launch and land
landing. Like
lots of things.
All kinds of cool stuff you can combo it on.
I would encourage you to do a side trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than because you're there anyway, so you might.
It's very common that either they add us at the end of their trip or the beginning of the trip, one or the other.
But let's be real, it's the trip.
Yeah, for sure. So spots available throughout the whole season this year.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
not too early to book next year.
Correct.
All right, go see them at the PCS show. You'll have a booth there.
Absolutely.
Next
We'll see you
Thursday
guys.
through Sunday.
Come
Look
ask
forward to
us some
that.
questions.
And thank you for keeping things rolling up there, Bob and Charmel.
Thank you for
It's
having
such
us.
a wonderful place.
It's great
Can't
coming and
wait
doing the
to
show
go
with
back.
you guys. Wait for next year.
Oh, for sure. Hey, and thank you for listening today. Thanks to Christian for all he does on the phones as well as on the board there. And thanks to Adam for all he does on that amazing Let's Talk Hookup app. And thank you out there for your texts, your phone calls, and everything else. We sure appreciate your support of Let's Talk Hookup. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Bill and Mike from the PCS show will be here to talk about that amazing show coming up this week at up the Orange County Fairgrounds. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. right here on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.